top. So good morning, everyone. I would like to welcome everybody of you to the Riwers webinar, how AI agent multiply your product owners can do. I'm glad that you found time today. Yeah. I'm Marco Dietrich. I'm a co-founder of Riwers and responsible for the software development department here in Bratislava in Slovakia. I would like to introduce you also to Michael Pulfius. He's our business development manager, and even Martin Graf, our CEO of the company, is also joining here. And of course, Mate, our product owner, and he is presenting today for us. Riwers itself is an IT consulting and software development company. We are based in Slovakia and also in Switzerland. Yeah, before you start, I would like to say when you have questions during the session, we have a Slido chat where we are collecting the questions and answer them in the Q&A session then after the presentation. This is a bit tricky because in Google Meets you see on the bottom right the comments, the chat field. And when you click on this is like a text. Okay. I think the history is gone because we prepared this. Wait, I will do it. Copy link. So this is 4 questions. So here's the link. We will collect then all the questions and we'll answer them, hopefully all then after the webinar. Good. So at Riwers, we are using AI in many disciplines, especially in coding, as we are a software development company, but also in product management and also in our corporate departments, where we start an initiative to think about how we can introduce AI for the teams and also to automate our processes in HR, sales, and finance and more. And here I also see a quite good benefit for AI for digitalization, automatization. AI is nowadays already very, very heavily used in software development. I think everybody has experienced already this. We are using it also a lot in the software development. But still, when I talk to our customers or when my experience in these discussions is that it's not so much used on the product side for product owners and product managers. It's very often a bit unused or underused. And here I see also a big opportunity for you as a person, as a product owner personally, or maybe even if you are a head of a team of product owners. And this is about the presentation. So Mate will show you how we are using at Riwers AI to leverage our performance and help us to get quicker in the product and in the requirements, especially. So this is a real hands-on. Sorry, I have to. A real hands-on webinar, which real how we are working concrete at Riwers. So it's not a theory; it's a real system and a practice. Thank you for listening for this introduction, and I would like to hand over now to Mate.
Yeah, thanks, Marco. Welcome everyone to the webinar. So as Marco stated, today's topic is how AI agents multiply what your product owners can do, or like, let's say, people in a product management. Obviously, this applies to also different roles, but now we'll focus on this specific part. I think nowadays everyone is using AI, let's say in some sense. Let's say maybe on a smaller scale or bigger scale, but it's really I think that it's about knowing how to use the AI the best way that you can leverage that it actually brings you the value and you can be more effective. And here what I want to showcase is how to orchestrate the AI to deliver more output and build the things that matter. All right. And also, as Marco stated, this is actually how we work, how I work on a daily basis. What I will show you what I use and what benefits it can bring you, and how one person with leveraging this kind of AI agents can nowadays let's say, deliver a work of a full product team. So jumping to this slide, this really might sound familiar to you. That on the projects, there are always too many ideas coming, and there is never enough time to properly think them through before making decisions, because they are just piling up, coming from every side. And when you have no enough time to think them through before making a decision, that can cost, like, later, that can come with a great expense, because the requirements are written under pressure and then corrected later. Then, for example, decisions are getting delayed because nobody has the full picture. What I mean here is that the informations aren't that hard to gather, but then nobody, or let's say people, don't have as much time to do it, especially before the meetings, when they are occupied with the other stuff. And because they can't bring this important information already to the meeting, some of the people don't have the full picture yet, and meaning they can't decide, right? So this is one of the things that also that brings a lot of problems. And I think one of the strongest points is really that we are depending on the individuals. Let's say your best analyst, or like your only analyst, is gone for a vacation, and you don't have that person output there. And so the productivity is tied to people and not to the system. If someone is gone, it's hard to substitute him. You need to wait, and then the process is getting like way longer than it should be. And so here comes the shift, and I will quickly get to the method that we are using. But I would here really like to say, and I think nowadays this is not something that people can do. I think this should become a must if you want to really stay on top of the AI and be as effective as possible, especially as the PO. Things like writing meeting notes, typing out long prompts and context by hand should not be there anymore. You should not be writing user stories, epics, or any documentation by yourself. Or like a structuring, let's say you get a very vague requirement from someone, and you need to structure it. You need to make it, you need to give it a sense. You need to then refine it, so then you can explain to someone. These kind of things can be automated, and then you can get more like into the review process and deciding role there. But this kind of groundwork can be done with the AI and can be automated. And instead of those things, you can do what's on the right side. So instead of writing, I believe, okay, everyone is like, you are used to writing a lot, but now there are these tools that are super good in dictating. Okay, they were there before, but I think now they are even better. And when you are dictating your thoughts, you are four times faster, and I think you can really get into the view that sometimes you really need to write a lot of text. It's much better to dictate it there. You can explore every angle before committing, meaning that you have some idea, but maybe you had to brainstorm alone about it. You don't have so much time. You can leverage these agents to give you different opinions. So you can explore every angle before committing to actually building any feature. You can prototype stuff over writing a requirement document for it. And it's much better because people can actually see the same stuff. And you can decide faster because the groundwork, the analysis, the competitor analysis, market analysis can be done already before, and you can make the decisions because you already have all of the important information at your hand, and you don't need to, like, let's say you go for a meeting, something you don't have some information that are missing. You need to then again, let's say, meet again in a week, and then this loops gets very long. So this is the shift that should be happening. And basically we can say the work that needed your brain stays, the rest gets handled by the AI. And this is really the shift that is here, and you should jump on it. So getting to the really the core of the presentation here, I'm not talking about that you need a bigger team. you really need a smarter way to work by using these AI agents. If someone knows how to orchestrate those AI agents, he can substitute these other people, and he can somehow create like a virtual team for himself. So, and it's pretty good, because then your job as a PO comes down to, let's say, the three things: prioritizing, deciding, and taking responsibility. That's it. Everything around that, the drafting, the structuring, the research, the brainstorming, gets handled by these people, or by these different agents, and you can focus on the on the important stuff: prioritizing, deciding, and really taking the responsibility. So what we do at the Riwers, and what is our approach? Of course, there is a lot of tools on the market that you can use, and I believe everyone is, let's say, using something else. But we, after our research, what we did, we have decided we are going to use a BMET method. That's what we stick to, and I will showcase you what this method does, and why we chose this method. So it has specialized AI agents for you that are especially good for like the whole development process. And the agents that I'm using for my work and in a product management are the analyst, and then there is a product manager, and there is a UX designer agents, right? And what is really good here is that those agents, they are not like a normal agent. They don't just generate outputs. They really guide you through proven processes. So it's not like, it reframes the relationship from really transactional, like you command the AI and they execute, to more like that you think together. The agent really push you. It asks you why. It asks for it push you to give him the answers, so then he can provide you the best result. So it's like you are being, let's say, a coach by a specialist who knows which question to ask, right? Plus, but I think, okay, this is also now in, let's say, in a different tools, but it is very important that there is like a living documentation when you are working on something, either maybe a product requirements document or something else. It's the document is getting created while you are writing it, while you are like talking to the agent, and that's super important, because you need that context to stay, so then it can go in the process to the next agent, and you, like, he's not losing any of the context. It's super important that you are creating this living documentation as you go. So this is the reason why we went with this method. There are, as I already said on a previous slide, so there are three agents that we use in a product management, and that is analyst, product manager, and the UX designer. For the analyst, it's very good to use this agent. It opens the, let's say, the problem space. When you have a vague idea or a new requirement, you can talk to this analyst agent, and it helps you to think it through, think about it properly. And its superpower comes with there is a lot of brainstorming techniques. I think currently like 60 plus structured brainstorming techniques that are built in, that are used by the, let's say, the best companies, let's say like Google and Anthropic, and they are there built into the agent, and that agent knows, like, based on the context, let's say, which method to pull in, and it can give you like pretty good result, these techniques. I will later show you in a real example how this works, but this is something that also makes the BMET a bit different, because these agents are really specialized and they have something extra in them. Then there is a product manager agent. So let's say you already brainstorm about the idea and you expanded the problem space, and then what this agent does, it closes it into precise requirements, either like a PRD document, or when we are just talking about the user story with the and the acceptance criteria. And then comes its superpower again. As analysts had these brainstorming techniques built in, the product manager, there are these elicitation methods used by the BMET method that you can run. And it's basically, you can stress test your requirements. When you really think that, okay, I have nailed this, and this is super good, and I think this is the way we should build it, trust me, when you run it through any of these methods, it will surface the things you never thought about, and it can really help you fine tune it. I will also show it a bit later. And then comes the last agent that fits into this loop, into this circle. It's the UX designer. It is this agent helps you to make it visible. So from requirements to prototype ready output. And the way there is, of course, different things it can do, but what we do it mostly is that it can generate AI optimized prompt for different prompt to UI tools such as Lovable, Figma Maker, or Visio. It doesn't matter which tool, but you don't have to like write it from the scratch. And then he's really good for that because you already bring all of the context that it needs before, and he just finish it, and then you can actually visually see it. This agent delivers that. What is also cool, there is this the new thing that was launched by them is like a party mode. So let's say you want to talk to different agents that's at the same time. So they give you all, let's say like you book a meeting room with more people, you can launch this party mode, and it brings all the agents into one conversation. They debate and challenge each other like a team in the room. So this is also very, very powerful. Yeah, let's deep dive more into the agents and what they can do. So as I mentioned before, they are always they uncover the innovations. Every time there is something hidden, there are some hidden opportunities in the requirements. And I think the image on the right side, the iceberg, fits properly. So you, let's say, see only the top of it, but there are so many things that people don't see at the beginning that are like below the water, and the analysts help you to dig them all out, right? So let's say user types nobody considered, failure modes, edge cases nobody else asked about, or even like opportunities, something like how we could improve it. So this is what the analyst agent does with this different brainstorming technique that are built in and then suggested by the agent based on the content. And the last point is adapt without the meeting. As I said, you don't need to book a room with someone. You don't need to have a look at the calendar if they are available. You don't need to wait for anyone. It can be in the morning or in the evening. You have an idea and you want to really think it through, analyze it, brainstorm it, pinpoint it. You get adapt without the meeting with this agent because he's your partner and he can do like pretty cool stuff. So yeah, the secret sauce of the agent, of the analyst agents, are these brainstorming techniques. Here are some of them that I picked for you. So just then you can see what kind of techniques are there, and there's like multiple more that are cool. For example, role playing. So it will look at the idea requirements, whatever, through eyes of each person who will use it. So you will get every perspective from the different user. So that's pretty strong. You have like a reverse brainstorming. So how do we make this fail, right? Instead of saying like, how do we build this well? You really make you turn it up, like you ask, how do we make this fail spectacularly? So every failure that the agents finds is like a hidden requirement that you have missed. Or you have a brainstorming technique called 6 thinking heads. So it forces 6 different perspectives: facts, risk, emotions, opportunities, creativity, and process. I will show you more like how does this work. And then there is a second order thinking. What happens after what happens, right? Usually people think one step ahead. This technique, it pushes you 2 or 3 steps further. So let's say, very simple example here, you auto assign tickets to whoever has the fewest option items, right? So at first order, you feel like, okay, this feels balanced because the workload is the same. But the second order could be people start closing tickets without finishing them just to lower their count, so they are not assigning more. That means in the third order, now you need, let's say, the quality check for the closed tickets, which you have never, let's say, planned before. So it's a small decision a chain of consequences, and this technique helps you to find them before you build. And there is many more, but this is like a secret sauce of that agent. Then the next one is the product manager. So as we did the brainstorming with the analyst agent, we have done all the groundwork, and we think we have everything ready. It helps you to structure your ideas into really clear requirements document. If you want to write a PRD, it will guide you through different steps, how like really the product requirements documents are written, so you are not forgetting anything. It guides you, and then the output is then pretty good. But it's not just for this. As I said, for any epic, any user story, it really helps you to bring you the structure. But what it also does is, once again, the secret sauce of this method is this elicitation methods. This is something that is used by the best prompters in the world when they are on these prompting competitions, when they are competing how to get the best results out of the LLM. And these elicitation methods are used to stress test. Let's say your really final requirement you want to stress test it to find the gaps, conflicts, and really unstated assumptions before someone starts coding them. So these are pretty strong things. And then, as I said, like epics and stories ready to build. So this automate everything. Okay, you come with your brainstorming, you have all the work done. This agent will just draft it. You quickly review it, and that's it. But you make sure everything is written there, and so team don't have to interpret. They know what they need to build. So going to the secret sauce of the product manager. So there are these 50 elicitation methods built in. Some of them are listed here. For example, a pre-mortem, a very advanced technique, but it forces you to imagine a product launch, or like you implemented a feature, right? And it failed 6 months later or 1 month later, and you are already thinking like before why it failed, right? And it can help you that like every single failure that you figure out can become a hard requirement then, or 5 whys. So drill past the symptoms, you keep asking why, really like until you hit something that is real and maybe surface some new requirements. Or a stakeholder roundtable, it gives you, imagine, like I'm sure you can picture like the different people from different departments talking about the same stuff. It really surfaces the conflicts. Here you can do it with this method, and let's say be then ready for the meeting. When you're really meeting these people in person, maybe you already have the answers beforehand. And on the bottom I listed something pretty cool that is like a final tune that you can do. It's like adversarial review. Here it goes in a mode that agent must find the problems. No looks good allowed. So you can run it through, and it will have to find really the problems. And this can be like the cherry on the top if you really want to stress it even more, just to show you that there is like even this cool technique. And then we are getting to the agent that is last in the loop for me, or in the product management that we use, and is the UX designer. Why I really think is a powerful agent that, and we could see a shift in the Riwers where we started to do this. When we are talking about the requirement and someone is looking at the document, you can interpret it totally different way, right? You are looking at the same text, but the way you see in your head is different than what someone else see. And once you can bring the prototype, let's say to a meeting or in a room, and you show it to someone, really these abstract requirements, they turn into real conversation, and there you can see the spark. People start to be more active, and you get much better feedback from the people. If it's a big feature, if it's a small change, here with these agents, you can really generate a prototype, I can say in a minute, not days, and you can do it on your own. So this is for me very, very strong stuff. And when he has all the context, he can create a really good prompt. Then you paste it, you see the prototype pretty fast. Maybe you fine tune it, but this is very, very powerful stuff. So that was let's say the theory why these agents are super good. I would like to now show you. Let's see it run. How does it go with the vague requirement that there can be. So let's say this is a requirement from customer, right? That we need a way for staff to report problems in our buildings and track them until they are fixed. So starting with the analyst agent, with the first brainstorming techniques that I told you about is the 6 thinking heads. So there is the white hat, which is for the facts. So no record or repeat faults. The same pipe leaks 3 times before anyone connects the dots. Then you figure out, okay, that if I see really like a repetitive fault appearing in the same way and so on, maybe we need a different mechanism that we can somehow alert it, right? And there is more. For example, there is the black hat, the third one. No urgency system, broken elevator treated same as a flickering light. And this is also very important. When there are faults, some of them they needs to be fixed right away. But let's say I need to change a light bulb, that can wait. And there is this different views that it gives you, right? For example, also the red hat, the second one, reporter feels ignored after submitting, no feedback loop. Okay, then you know you need to have some kind of statuses. Then another technique that we explained, the reverse brainstorming. How do we make this fail? So first of all, form is super long, 10 fields. People are not happy, angry. They don't want to, they are in the terrain. They don't want to be submitting super long form. Okay, then it's clear it needs to be easy. So even like non-technical people can pretty much quickly fill it out. No status updates, reporter calls instead. So you didn't solve anything here, right? Because they need to call, and it's actually more work than it is. So we need to have some statuses there. And then let's say anyone can close any fault, no accountability, only the assigned technician can resolve. So it should be really that only let's say the technicians who are assigned, not someone else, can close it, because then it can create a mess. Another cool stuff that people would not think at the first look on the requirement. And then there is a role playing. So the 3 different users looking at the same requirement, right? So like, did anyone even like see my report of the fault of the reporter? So he needs to have an instant confirmation, right? Technician, they need to know more information before they go to that building and so on. So missing any of those important information is a wasted trip for them. So it's really important that we know this is a must there to be in that form. And the manager, he don't want to be asking anyone what's broken in his building. When he log into this application, he want to see the dashboard, have a quick overview. So we had like a very vague requirement. We have run it through different brainstorming techniques, as you have seen. Came up with the new requirements, fine-tune them, and then we decide these are our 3 user stories coming out for it. So staff need to report the fault fast. Minimal fields, what is it, where, how urgent. Technicians need location, urgency, and description before they move, and only they can resolve what's assigned to them. Managers need to see what's open across their buildings without asking anyone. Now we can run it to like be even more sure that we have it right. We can run it through these different elicitations method, right? So there is a pre-mortem. We are looking forward, 1 month forward, 6 months forward, and saying it failed, like our application was not used, or this feature was not used, it was abandoned by users. So why did it happen? So, for example, it could be the technician market falls resolved without proof. So resolution must require a photo or note, because then we can't be really sure that it's really fixed, and we can't track back. No confirmation after submission. Report is resubmitted. So someone submitted, there was no confirmation. I'm not a technical person. I thought, okay, maybe something is wrong. I do it again. Then we have a lot of duplicates. And there are these different things that it can show. We can go to the next one. For example, these 5 whys, right? And I will explain how it works, this elicitation method. So we can let's say an urgent fault was resolved no faster than a routine one. Why? Technicians worked faults in submission order. Why? Because the board was sorted by date, not by urgency. Why? Sort order was never defined as a requirement. And then we go down in this chain until we find out that, okay, the urgency field without the forced sort order is just a label. So let's say we had a grid and there was a label urgency, but people ignore it. But once we sort it out and we put the really on top the safety ones, so it goes in the people eyes, they see it right away. That can like save us, let's say, a rework later, and people will like it more. So this kind of different method then, or once again there is like this the stakeholder roundtable, that we go into these different user types. So there is a building manager. So safety faults need to reach me immediately. Separate notification path. Another hidden requirement. Technician can say, I manage 3 floors, not 40 faults. So I need to know the location, floor, and the room level. And a different things like admin, which building has the most open faults. So we know, okay, on the first screen, on the building summary, we want to show which building has the most open faults. And so you can have this really, we had the requirement which was pretty good. Now we run it through these different methods, and it surfaces even like better ideas, and we stress test it, we fine tune it, and we can have some kind of like a good confidence that we are building the right thing. As I said before, so everything that you do is a living documentation, and you are getting the output from the agent. So this is an example. Once we have run this whole chain, when I just write, okay, now create me a user story for these 3 things that we identified, that we fine-tuned, that we stress tested, this is what happens right away. Then I think it's just about the automation. It can be directly synced to Jira or whatever tool you are using. But this is, you don't have to write it. You just need to review it. But if you have done the work before, this is all perfectly described. And if anyone is reading it, they can understand what needs to be built. And then comes the last step. Here also on the screen, I'm not going to read it, but I pasted the screenshots here so you can see the prompts the agent generates for you. So you don't have to write it on your own in these different tools. So it does all the work. You only need to paste it to the tool, and then the magic can happen that, let's say there was you wanted to report a fault, you wanted to see how it will look like, and then it will generate these kind of screens for you that you can bring to the meeting, show it to someone, and you can start discussing if this is the way they see it as it should be, or you should fine-tune something. You can already do it on the spot by prompting and changing it a bit. But so you get from the idea, like a very vague idea, to really precise requirement, stress test it to something that is visible, that people can react to, and you can make the final decision. So this agent provides you this prompt, which is then very well defined. All of these, if it will be clickable, it is working. Like you see when you click on submit report on the right side, fault reported with some number, and like all of this is clickable. So then you can the people really engage on this kind of meeting where they see it and they can click it through. So what I want to leave you with is that, so everything you saw, the brainstorming, the elicitation, the prototype, is not something that we do, or I believe that maybe you should do when you try it on special occasions or like a big projects, right? It can be for any small idea or any big feature that you use these kind of things, and this is the like adaptability of it. You can use it for anything. So every idea really gets explored from multiple angles, not only when there is time, every time, right? Because you don't need to wait for someone. The agent is ready the moment you are, right? Then the requirements can get stress tested. not just the important one, every sprint, because we all know the cost of finding a gap in requirements in minutes is super good, right? Because the cost of finding it in development later on is really days, right? When you already develop something and you need to rework it, it can be pretty hard. And yeah, every feature like that can be of course shown is something that you can really show and not just explain to people. And for me, this is a very, very, very strong stuff. So all of this is now possible to do as a PO. At the same time, if you know, or if you are willing to learn and change the ways that you are working, that you try to automate the stuff that you don't need to do anymore, and you focus more on this, because it really is that as I show you, these agents are pretty fast. You can do all of this, and it doesn't have to take days. So you can have a totally different output in the same time as a product owner. Yeah, thank you.
So thanks a lot, Mate. Let's go to the questions. I will just open it. Yes, we will send afterwards, maybe in 1-2 days, the recording of it. This we will do. The next question was, Mate, what do you mean with prototyping over paperwork? That was the very beginning.
Yeah. So what I mean is really that I think I explained that when you, let's say, we see it, I will say a real example, right, for us, that we have a customers, we believe not all the people are technical, right? And even though I try my best to write something in a really, how to say, like a natural language, or like that anyone can read, like it's understandable, right? That they still see something else in their head as what you see, what you imagine. But once I bring the prototype or just a screen, how does it look like, then we are looking at the same stuff. And this is very important, because then they can't just say, okay, this is not what we meant, right? With the requirements, it can happen, but when you're looking at the same stuff, you know you're looking at the same stuff. So this is what is meant by that.
Yes. Next question is, what is the difference between BMAT method and SpecIt?
Yeah, we honestly, we didn't explore that much the SpecIt, but I think I explain it, and I believe that there are these different the brainstorming techniques and the elicitation methods that have been built in to these agents that you can just pull up, and it will help you with that. So this is what I thought is like a really a differentiator in our view.
One next question is, since you are using the BMAT method, and were you able to test it on some bigger project from the start to finish, or at least MVP?
Hard to say since when, but I think it could be more than half a year now that we are doing. Didn't test it on a super huge project, but we tested it on a smaller scale. Also nowadays I'm working on the project that's gonna launch the MVP, and it's there I can see it is really, really good. It is helping me a lot, because there was this idea about having a collaboration platform for people delivering the projects, but it was very vague, right? This means a lot of things that needs to be done, and I need to somehow start, okay, let's say feature by feature, or start creating the product requirements document and so on. And this really helped to guide me. And then when I could bring up the prototype, what I see in my head to the customer, it was I saw the really good feedback, and they said this is super nice, and like that they could test it, they could tell me what is needed, and we could fine tune it, what is the part of MVP. Like here I see like a really, really, real strong power with this.
Maybe we have to say that we are using a BMAT method. Not all agents. We are using the requirements engineering or the product manager and also the UX designer. This means we are using it mainly to getting the requirements for the whole application, and also for the UX design for the prototype. the software developers are not in Rivers using BMAT method. So it's getting the requirements. This is the main part where we're using BMAT method at Rivers.
But I can add to this that if like once these documents are ready, as I maybe if this like the let's say this product requirements document or all these epics and so on, all of these are like living MD files. So with nothing, it's preventing you that the developers can take it over and use their, let's say we use a Claude code and a different setup with the agents that they can just take it and go from there. So I mean, it's not all automated loop, but somehow it is connected.
Yeah. Which LMM model are you using?
I think is the latest from the Anthropic.
Yes, we are using in Rivers. We are using mainly Cloud and Opus. No, depends. Opus is a bit expensive, but Opus 4.6 mainly. For coding, also Cloud and also Codex. This depends. Sometimes we have two LMM models where we checking each other. Because sometimes they have different views. But for the requirements engineering, mainly Cloud.
Yeah, exactly. Like for me, this with the Cloud and their models. But as Marco said, like for the development, you also need to be on watch, right? How the models are performing, because it really varies. Like for example, let's say we had this yesterday that our developers reported that there are these articles, and it's not like there is a fact that the Anthropic models, their level it went down, right, for the coding part. So you need to be on the watch, but it's always like that. It also happened like I think a half a year ago that the Anthropic models went down, and in a month they fixed it and they were performing the best. But for now we are building it around like a Cloud coding. Yeah.
That's a good question. I can imagine if I show this to my customers, live editing demo based on feedback, that they will think it's super cheap to do this. How can I prevent this?
This is not actually first time I think we asked ourselves the same question, but it's about the explanation, right? This is not something that you can take the prototype and it's ready and it's workable. Here you need to say that this is more for like getting the requirements ready, pinpointing everything, making sure we are building the right thing, then we stick to it, but then we actually have to build it. So this is just to visualize you. It's about that you need to explain how does this work. I don't see any way around it.
Yes, and on the other hand side, yes, it's true. It also gets let's say cheaper. It's much less effort. Also I can see when we have let's say a project starting with this, we get in several days the full specification, the full running prototype. Also it's really a clickable prototype, not something which you can deploy. But I'm sure you would have need 3 times more time as before. So this is you get with AI in several, not everywhere, but in some situations you can really get this 2x, 3x things, and but you have to do it because the competitors are doing it as well. So this is there's at my point of view there's no way to not do it. Also in our case, for example, we were now also able to say, okay, we have this we call it product discovery. When you as a customer have a product idea, we go there and say, look, we have here this package. It's a fixed price, and you get then this results like a spec and also then the prototype. And this is also a good starter. You can have also maybe new ideas, because before it was a long way and maybe 4 weeks, and now we can say in 2-3 days you see already the result. But that's also good. Also you can have also new offers in this case because you are quicker as the competitors maybe. Oh, there are new questions. Is it possible that BMAT method use existing know-how, existing code, old requirements from Jira, Confluence documentation, etc., to challenge its proposal?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can connect what you want, right? Like with the MCP, let's say you connect the Atlassian MCP, and it can pull up the context that it needs. So and also the code, let's say in GitHub and so on. So you can use that, and it is something that you need to be using if you want to use the AI the best, right? It's like the biggest challenge is really like how to manage the context, because this is the important, and how to not overload it so it can only pull up the most important information when it's working on some part. So it's not like pulling the information that is not needed, and then it's also the result you get from the LLM is not good. But you can connect it, like it runs in, let's say I run it in my IDE in the VS, and then you just connect it with the MCP, and it works.
Is BMAT method able to create the UX prompts using given design templates, constraints?
Yeah, here I'm this I can't really answer. I don't have that let's say that much experience with this. Mostly I think also when it comes to the BMAT and making the prototypes, I think there is still a gap when you want to build like customer facing app, right? Like it needs to be like really super fine tuned. But when it comes to, let's say, more like internal applications, or like it can be also customer facing, but it needs more like that you want to show this is what we see, it's good. Then you show it, then you fine tune it, but then someone needs to anyway take over a designer. I think there is this gap that we didn't breach yet. So yeah, but I can't really 100% answer that question. I'm sorry.
Also we are using BMAT methods to create the UX prompts, and then we are using specialized tools like Lovable to create the prototype with this. This is the way. How do you handle it if you have clients, for example, public administration, who always ask for the paperwork? So I think I think AI is great for it. When they want paper, they can get paper, because with the AI you can create tons of papers on top. So this is even a competence from the AI. I was already thinking about when we do, for example, public tenders, when they want thousands of papers. Nowadays, and nobody is maybe reading it, I'm not sure, but you could create this easily nowadays. So you would have maybe two systems. One system which is really working, and then on top you are creating the papers which the public administration wants. And the question is if they anyway read it. Maybe they just calculate, okay, I have now a big document, I'm happy. So with the AI, you are even, you have it already. You can create it. Okay. So basically, BMAT is just a library of prompts.
I don't think I would say no, right? It's like a structured methodology, I would say, for you, right? And a system of roles. You see the agents, they have a different skills. They can improve. They have defined what they do, a scope of work, and what they can produce. So it's not just no, we can't say it's a library of prompts. No, it's more. It's more complex than that. Yeah.
It's also some internal workflows, how the agents work together. You can download it. We are using it. It's open source. Also it's not just prompts, I would say. There's much more behind. It's also how the agents internally work together. Yes. Oh, there's one. Do you already have a sort of governance in place that makes sure new POs get introduced and senior POs discuss validations, features, and help to avoid them? Yeah, this is I can take over this. For us, it's like this. We have for the software development, we have, let's say, an expert team. We call it core team, which are discussing all the time what is new in place in the AI world, and we want to implement this in the Riwers system for software development. And for the product owner, we are doing this as well. It's a kind of, I would say, a bottom-up system and a top-down system. When I talk to customers, I know some companies try to make it like forcible, that from top, but are very strict for the people. And I think there must be both. So there must be the creativity from the people, and also a kind of guideline from the top to get the best thing what we are learning on the projects in the Riwers system for the new projects. So I would say this is a management topic, and we are trying this, but in both ways. Only bottom up is also not working, because then you have nothing for the company, and only top down and reducing and talking about compliance all the time, then you are going also the wrong way. And I think we are trying the best way. And on top, as a smaller company, as a software development company, I think we would say we are more flexible in this. So we can also change, adapt on every project and the new system, because the cycles are going so much quicker as before. Also, I could say even every 4 weeks something new pops up, and you have to be quicker, much quicker than before. Maybe I hope I could help you with this question.
If I may add here that really that, as Marco said, you need to be really flexible, and you see the AI landscape is changing very rapidly. Every month there is a new tool, let's say new model that totally changed the way you work. And I think, of course, that when the senior ones, like the ones that are using them, it needs to be in a way that someone new comes in, that they help them to get on the same point with the AI. But what we do in the Riwers, like anyone can bring any idea, come up with a new tool, and we explore it, because it's really that it's impossible for one person to stay on top of these different tools that are there. And every time there's like a new one, we see what it brings. If it's somehow the same as we use, there is no, like, you should stick to the one that you are used to, right? That you are more effective. But if someone is really like a breakthrough and it totally changes the way you work, then you need to make the adaptation. So yeah, that's very important, especially for the companies that wants to use the AI. You need to be very flexible, because I think you can see it yourself how it's changed just in the last 2 years. Like it totally changed everything.
Okay, I think we can. There are no more questions anymore. So then I would like to thank you all for participating. I hope it could help you a bit how we are working with AI in our product management. Thank you. Anyway, when you have a product idea, as I shortly told before, we have a small package. It's called Product Discovery Package. So you can get then out of this idea. There are some workshops to discuss the idea, have the specifications and an interactive prototype, and you can then decide if you want to continue with this idea. This is one package what we have. And what we also are doing in Switzerland, mainly, we are doing, let's say, consulting how to introduce AI in the corporate department. Here, I still believe there's a lot of options how to get more productive, especially in the finance department, HR department. And we have, for example, one offer. It's called AI Readiness Check. So we are checking shortly with a few workshops in some days where you are. When you are interested in this, so just feel free to reach out to me. And I have also a link. I copy link, but now we have to be quick in the comment. So here you can book a meeting with me, for example. Or when you have some other questions or want to get more information, then just book a meeting with me for this. So, yes. For me, I would like to thank you all, and especially Mate, for this very good presentation. And I would like to say have a great day, and see you next time, hopefully.
Yeah, thanks, everyone. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.